Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Volley Rally. Today, I am joined by Karl Figenshu with the Niello Auto Group. Karl, how's it going today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. Really appreciate having you here. Karl's with the Niello Company and out of California. Karl, tell us a little bit about what you do with the group.
Yes, I'm the BDC manager for the service side of our group, and we have about 10 dealerships plus a collision center here in the greater Sacramento area.
And so you're the BDC director. How long have you been in that role?
So this department is new for the Nilo Group. We created it in January of this year.
Awesome. And so we'll talk a bit about how Volley's been going for you guys. You did start with Volley in May. So
hmm
the department was started in January. Can you talk about, really, you want to just talk a little bit about how this whole year has gone before Volley?
So prior to adding on Volley, we were kind of doing a combination of Car Wars and using X Time. And just to kind of give you some numbers here, in April, when we were doing Car Wars and X Time, we had a total of about 2,400 inbound and outbound calls and about 850 appointments. And the very next month, when we switched to Volley, just the efficiency just went through the roof. We had a total of 6,200 phone calls, and we um, I'm sorry, the screen went blank there for a second.
No
Sorry about
problem.
that.
No,
All
so
right.
you had 6,200 phone calls and
Yeah, and we had about 1,200 appointments. So definitely a huge increase over what we had done the previous month. And just to show where we've gone in a short amount of time, for the month of September, we had a total of just a little over 14,500 phone calls and almost 3,900 appointments for the month of September.
wow. I mean, that is quite an increase since you guys started Volley in May. Can you just talk a little bit about you started the department in January and you have 10 stores in the group. Is this a centralized BDC then for the whole group?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And how many agents do you have taking calls for the group?
So we have a kind of a little different setup than what I've seen other BDCs doing. We have a total of 8 agents. 7 of them are handling inbound and outbound calls. One of the agents is dedicated specifically. She handles next day appointment reminders and does CSI follow-up
Hmm.
for the different dealerships.
Okay. And how have your agents liked using Volley?
There was a little, you know, getting acclimated to the new software at first, but compared to the old way of doing it, they absolutely love it. It's been a huge leap forward for us as a team and a department.
Hmm. So when you do the math on those numbers that you shared, I mean, that is nearly, I mean, that's a nearly 5 times increase on the number of appointments going from 800 to 3,900. And I really had to think there. That was some slow, bad math for me there. But no, so that's nearly a 5x on the number of appointments. Your agents enjoy using it. How do they feel about, I mean, was there any apprehension to using Volley where they had, all the visibility into their activities?
hmm
And I mean, surely, hey, we're going to use this tool. We expect more out of you guys. How did that implementation go?
Well, there was, some apprehension. How is this going to work? How are we going to be able to handle, increased call volume? Because you definitely couldn't do it the old way through Car Wars and X Time, and so just imagining being able to handle 150, 200 calls per agent a day was like, no, I don't see how that's going to happen. But once we got our feet wet with the system and saw how it works, everyone really got on board with it.
Mm-hmm. So again, a nearly 5x with the number of appointments. That those are incredible results from the BDC team. Can you talk a little bit about, kind of going the other end up? How is I know Tully Williams and some of the other folks within the company. Can you talk about how, their view is in terms of some of the reporting and visibility that they have into the BDC that wasn't there before?
Well, that's a great point. The service managers can now really see the calls that we're doing for them. Even Volley can track it down to specific queues. Whether it's a recall campaign or a CSI campaign or a next day appointment, the service managers can see all of that detail. But I think one of the really cool stats that they really appreciate is last month, our department made about 82% of all of the service appointments for the entire group. So they can really see the value that we've added. And especially some of our dealerships, Volkswagen, BMW, the volume of calls that the service writers were having to handle was just off the charts. And it was, they were juggling balls to try and keep up with the needs of the customer and answering the phone. Now the phone's not ringing. They can concentrate on the customer. They can concentrate on making recommendations to keep their vehicle running in top condition while we handle all of that in the background for all the phone calls for them.
That is a great point, that in taking a lot of those calls off of their hands, they're able to focus on the other things that they should more importantly be spending their time on, right?
Exactly.
And I loved what you said about, hey, we're doing a great service really for the group. We make 82%. We said 82% of the total service appointments for the entire company here. And Volley helps you show your team, hey, the BDC team is really worth it. They're kicking butt here, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, when we first started, our goal was to maybe make 50% of the appointments and, maybe slowly grow that to 75. And here we are, a few months in, and we're already making 80+% of the appointments for the group.
mhm. Can you speak uh, for folks who aren't as familiar with Volley, if they're watching this or listening to this and trying to decide if they should, maybe look into it? What specifically has led to the dramatic increases in productivity, total calls they're taking, appointments, et cetera? What about it has made your agents much more efficient?
Well, the way that the program Volley operates, when we call a customer and we're not able to connect with them, the system automatically sends a text message and an email to the customer so that way they can see, hey, we're trying to reach out to you about your recall or your car is due for service. And maybe we don't connect with them by phone, but we connect with them by text message, and we can still use that as an avenue to get them scheduled for a service.
Hmm. And then in addition, of course, the can you talk a little bit about the speed ups in between calls?
Right. So it just makes wrap up that much faster. We can see the different calls that are coming in and for the different queues and the different dealerships. And it's just a much faster way of being able to handle a call and process it, whether it's, scheduling appointment or it was just a general question, and we can just disposition the call and move right on to the next one. And Volley has it ready to go for us, whether that's an inbound call or an outbound call. Volley has it all set up for
Hmm.
us. So there's the agent doesn't have to spend time digging into different records to find customers to call. Volley serves them right up to us.
Hmm. And I guess last thing I want to touch on here is your role, excuse me, as the BDC director. Uh, can you talk about your day to day with Volley?
Mhm. So I'm right there with the team. I help facilitate. So when they have questions, customers asking about this type of service for their car, I can help answer those questions and just keep the ball rolling for them. But if the call volume is too much, I can step in and help answer those calls. But the other really cool thing with Volley is that it has a screen that I can monitor exactly what cues the teams in. Maybe they've been on a call for a little bit longer period of time, and Volley alerts me to that, and I can just kind of step in with the advisor and check in with them. Hey, is everything going okay here? You having some challenges on this phone call. And so it just really allows me to keep a much better eye on what the team is up to and if they need help and where I can step in.
So, from the sounds of it, you're pretty much just living on that live dashboard then throughout the
Hmm.
day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a wonderful tool, and Tully's working on trying to get a TV with that live dashboard running, so the whole team can see it at the same time.
Awesome. I do know of several groups we work with who do have that set up, and they love it because it allows the whole team to kind of, oh yeah, what's going on, right?
Yeah,
So,
and you can see calls that are coming in. How many and which dealership they're for and which queue they're for.
hmm uh, Karl, thank you so much for taking the time here. Really appreciate it. You guys have been great partners already in the short, I guess now 6 months that you've been on Volley, and I know that you've said a lot of kind words about us too. We really appreciate it. Is there anything last minute here that you would want to mention to someone who's thinking about taking a look at Volley?
you know, I'd be happy to offer myself anyone that wants to connect, pick my brain on why going with Volley is such the right move to make. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I definitely am a big fan and would like to help any way that I can.
Awesome. Well, again, we really, really appreciate you guys. You've been a great group so far, and we look forward to seeing where you guys are at in another year. Maybe we do another touch base in a maybe 6 to 12 months, and you guys are knocking it out of the park even more, which would be awesome to see.
That'd
So,
be great.
Karl, with the Niello Company, thank you so much for taking the time here. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep, and for everyone tuning in, we hope you have a fantastic day.